So I want to take a moment just to make sure that you realize that you understand what is causing the Ordovician extinction. So with the extinction that occurred at the Ordovician, this is actually the first major extinction that was ever seen on Earth. So that's kind of impressive, right? That's something new. Remember, our extinction we see occur in two phases. The first phase is really where we see the top of the water column become affected. The second phase is where we see the bottom of the water column become affected. Now, if we think back to the Ordovician, let's think back to what we just talked about with our sloth sequences. What was going on geologically? Okay, well, we talked about, right, we had the tectonic orogeny, right, going on. We also had a major regression that was going on. So let's think about this. Right, here we are at the bottom of the ocean. Here's my water column. If we have a major regression, because our glaciers are getting big, right, the water is going to change from the top down. So what we're going to see are all these organisms in here that are up at the top, they are going to die off long before any organisms that are down here on the bottom. So our first phase affects what's going on the top. Now, as water level continues to drop, eventually it's going to start to affect all the organisms on the bottom. So what's really important here for you to realize is that the Ordovician extinction is purely geology driven. It's due to plate tectonics. Right? We see a continent move on the pole. Because that continent moves on the pole, glaciers get big. Because the glaciers get big, sea level drops. Because sea level drops, we're losing habitat. So see, extinction events aren't always driven by humans, right? We can see completely geological things occur to the Earth. And this is why we tie the biology and the geology together. Because it's important for you to see that what goes on geologically can definitely affect the biological realm.